Today we're going to go over how to install the Häfele Planofit torsion rod and cups to make your large cabinet door flat. Let's get started. First off, read the paperwork, read the instructions, understand what you're working with. Make sure you have all the hardware. What wasn't included in here, we made sure we included. And we went through multiple times and made sure we understood the setup. So follow the instructions. Let me globally go over how we are doing this. We're using a 3/8 router bit. It would be better to use a 10mm router bit because the 3/8 is 9.5 millimeters and we technically need a 10mm. But that's what we had available on the fly. If we had thought ahead, we could have ordered the 10mm bit. We are using the Festool router with the track set up, and we're using that in a sliding motion to make a linear groove. That's a stop dado. And we're going from a 35mm cup here to a 35mm cup here. And we're connecting that with the then we're putting the torsion rod and the beauty cover in there, and then we're putting the appropriate hardware on each end. Once the hardware is on, let's snap our beauty covers over it. And this is the part why we're making the video, is for the next time to have all the proper wrenches. We don't have, I'm guessing that's a 10mm wrench, I'm not for sure, but that's how you tighten it to make the door curve this way. Or if you loosen it and put pressure this way, then it'll make the door, curve out. In this case, we need to make it cup because it's over arched the other direction. So this is the introduction to the Planofit. Let's recap. We are putting a dado, a 10mm dado between each 35mm cup. We're installing the plastic rod sleeve and the rod in the 10mm wide dado from 35mm cup to 35mm cup. And we're following the instructions for the sizing of everything. They're asking for from center to center plus 20mm to cut your steel rod, and then from center to center minus 37mm to cut your plastic sleeve, and they give you the tolerance for where that should be. If you follow directions, it would be 1mm short on each side. Once we get that done, we do the assembly. Make sure on the bottom you use the square nut, and on the top, you saw that already, we use the nut washer, and then we make sure we slide the rod in there and get everything situated. Once it's situated, we're using 3.5mm screws. We need 16 of them to fasten them down, and those screws would probably be, I think, a 5/8. So 3.5mm diameter and a 5/8 length. And once we've got everything fastened, then we can go ahead and start torsioning to get it flat. And once we're done with that, then we put the cover caps on. Okay, here's a little bit of context. We have the door in place and we've tightened up these nuts. So what we're doing is, hold on a second, Chris. We are constricting the door like this. And when we're doing that, we're bowing the middle in. So we're taking the door, it was bowed out like that. Now we're bowing it in like this to exaggerate. And now we're putting the false fronts on it. And the whole goal of doing this was because when it was bowed out, Chris, go ahead and push on the middle of the door. Yeah, when he's not gonna be able to do it, but when it was bowed out, it was rubbing right here because it was, convex, and it was rubbing, and we've made it concave so it can't rub. And that's why we use the Häfele rods for straightening our single thickness MDF slab door with the Rixson pivot hinges that we've installed. And then we're putting a magnet up there. Okay, quick celebration. We got this all wrapped up. So we had to do some magnets, we had to do the door straighteners, but this works. I probably did it too hard. Nope, oh yeah.